Hello and welcome to all of our webcast attendees around the world. I'm Doug Kennedy with Kennedy Training Network, and welcome to our May webcast. Reservation sales agents, it is not our job to tell them what's available. It is our job to help them decide. So thank you for joining us. I love always looking at the registration list. Julia Kennedy, our marketing coordinator, who helps me set these up right before every webcast, we look on there and we love to see both familiar faces and a lot of new faces. And I also like to dive down into the titles. Today's webcast, I see a lot of general managers, I see sales directors, I see operations people. So thank you for sitting in on this topic. Some of you manage reservations offices, some of you maybe manage third-party providers like call centers. So you're all interested. Thank you. We have a lot of frontline reservation staff today. This program is really for you and of course those who lead you. I want to first thank our sponsors. Without our sponsors, we could not do these webcasts. They do pay a fee, which helps us promote these and get the word out. So for those of you who found us on LinkedIn or through our press releases in Hotel Online, Hotels News Resource, H Trends, Hospitality Net. It costs money to get those press releases out, so thank you. And then a lot of you are clients, but we do appreciate Track, a TravelNet solution. In fact, many of you are clients of these companies. Track is a great provider of vacation rental industry property management systems, and they have the Track Pulse call-in lead tracking for reservations. It's a reservation CRM. So many of our sales, of our hotel reservation sales clients use that. Travel Outlook, the premier call center, the only call center certified by Kennedy Training Network, currently certified. We've had others for over 12 years now, if I recall correctly. Better Talent recruitment selection company, a human resources staffing company. They do a lot of other interesting things in the industry. So thank you, Steve Trover and team. Moving on, shout outs. My favorite part as we wait for everyone else to join us. We have today almost 200 participants from around the world. So I see a lot of new people today. Julia and I were commenting on how many brand new people that I don't think, now I could be wrong when I do shout outs here, but I think most of you are brand new. Dorvik, Casa de Campo, Dominican Republic. I have known about Casa de Campo since I worked in the industry, in the hotel industry, in the 1980s. Fantastic resort. I will actually be in Dominican Republic. Hey, maybe you need to have me come out and train your team. We have Amber from TNB Hotels in Boise. Wow, over 100 years of experience I saw on your website when I visited. Thank you for joining us. Emily, the Chateau Denmark General Manager. Wow. Montaser from Accor Dubai, and you're a cluster reservation manager. Maybe you need to bring Doug Kennedy out to train your reservations contact center. I've never been to Dubai. We're very interested here in the United States of all the lovely things we see. Asim, the Snoqualmie Casino. First time I'm seeing you. Kamar, Sandals, Jamaica. Sandals was my client from 2004 to 2006 when the Unique Vacations, your division, had the contact center here in Miami. And then when you moved it to the Mobay Free Zone, I got a chance to come out there and train. I would love to come back to Sandals. Actually, you all do a really good job in this area. And Spencer, also from Jamaica, the Hilton Resort. Angela from the Mirage. I just read yesterday, it's official now. The Mirage is closing in July. I wish I had time to get back out there. I came to the Mirage in 1991, not long after it opened, and I trained the reservations team there. So I wish you well, and I'm envisioning the Guitar Hotel from the Seminole Indian, Seminole Hard Rock team, owned by the Seminole Indian tribe. We're actually 1 mile from the original Guitar Hotel. So I hope your career goes well in your next stop. Elizabeth, Ocean Drive, Madrid. I think we might have shouted you out We have Abhishek from Courtyard Toronto, Director of Sales. Naomi, Cabo Villas. Someday I want to come and train you all in Los Cabos, Mexico. Natalie, Fairmont, Toronto. Thank you. Rushu from Bucharest, once again. Now our clients, Dora, Ali'i Resort in Maui. We missed you during our last visit to Maui, but I do hope you talk to Billy and Marcy and bring us back out. Kelly, No Madness, you brought your team here. We love you are hanging in there with our call scoring and our coaching program. We love seeing your progress. Gabriella, Nizuk, 3 weeks. I'll be at Nizuk, Cancun, one of the most beautiful hotels in the world. I don't want to play favorites here because I have other clients on the line. Check out Nizuk. NOC team, I just talked to Chris today. He called me. He's signing some people up for our online version of Quest. Grace, Hazleton, Toronto. I miss you guys. Do you miss me? I'd love to come back. Sarah from the Brampton in Maryland. Thank you for using our Heart of Hospitality certification, I believe. And then I may be speaking at the Maryland Tourism Coalition's conference in November, so maybe I'll see you there. Maberlin, Majestic Resorts team, a lot of you from Majestic in Punta Cana. I will see you all next week. Actually, I'll be training the front office teams in Heart of Hospitality, but I will stop by. Saltwater Vacay, Parish, Kauai, and then Georgia, Albergator Pro in Italy. I am still holding the November date to come back out and speak to your group, your annual big conference. And if it's a good fit, I'd love to do that. If not, maybe again next year. We are now ready. Looking at our count, looks like we have almost everybody here. So let's get started as we got everybody. Let's take a deep dive now. Reservation agents, it is not our job to help them find what's available. They don't need us for that. AI, chat, GPT. Oh, what's the new one? Google just introduced Google Gemini. I think it's Gemini 123 or something. Came out 2 days ago. They can tell them what's available. It is our job as humans to help them decide. Okay, so let's flash back for just a moment. April 30th, I completed my 35th year of presenting training around the world. I was actually at a large destination resort in the Bahamas. And at the end of that class, I almost like got a little emotional, like I've just completed my 2,650th day of training, and that's about 5,200 workshops. And it was a reflective moment. And so at that time, you know, I thought, well, in fact, today I thought I'd go ahead and share some pictures of me over the years. You can see I was a real innovative pioneer. I actually carried around printed flip charts, okay? And if you look closely, I used colored overhead transparencies. If you're under 25, you might have to ask someone in the room, what's an overhead transparency? I carried a portfolio cover. But the reason I want to share that particular memory with you is that when I first started my first company, it was called Check-In Corporation, like check-in with 2 N's, like an in, like get it. Yeah. I thought that was really clever. I started out doing really 2 topics, hospitality and reservation sales. And that's what I wanted to show you this picture to reflect back on where we were 35 years ago. Because as an industry, we're kind of back to where we started. We've kind of actually regressed. When I started my company in 1989, in the age of 28, now you know how old I am, it was an era of order taking in reservations. We actually did a direct mail promotion, mailed to hotels around the United States at that time. Do you have order takers or order makers? And we trained people how to become a salesperson. So it was really, leaders and managers didn't think of reservations as being sales. This is why we started the mystery shopping business, so we could actually call and kind of show the need. We evolved pretty quick in the mid-90s. By the mid-90s, everybody was really focused on transient reservation sales as a segment, or destination resorts, you call it social channels. And the industry really evolved. We had a lot of competitors back then. Signature came onto the scene, a couple of other companies. And then the last 5 or 10 years, things have fallen off again, ladies and gentlemen. Now we have returned in many places to what I call website help desk. That's kind of like another name for order taker, but what happens today at about 80% of lodging facilities is they treat the job of reservation sales like it's website support desk for people who cannot successfully search the internet. Now, let me point out, I am almost certainly not speaking to any of the reservations teams on this call, because traditionally the hotels, the resorts, the vacation rental companies, the call centers that do the best job, you are always the one having us for on-site training, hiring us for call assessment and coaching, and joining me for the webcasts. It's the companies that really need to be here today that are not, because they had better things to do and they didn't want to register and get the recording later. So we have devolved. We have devolved as an industry. What people do today is they find out the dates, how many people, how many nights, okay. And if it's a resort, do you want a view? Do you want no view? Do you want garden view? Do you want water view? Do you want lake view? If it's a vacation rental company, do you need a hot tub? Do you need a pool? Do you need a home theater? Okay, click. Okay, there's 7 options. What's your email? And they treat it like website help desk. So to kind of restate that now, I'm going to take you on a deeper dive into what I just said. Originally, reservations was an admin job. Our key skills were typing and a good phone voice, okay? You can see this photo here. It kind of reminds me of the 70s when we had actual telephones. And this device for our younger set, this is called a typewriter, okay? Maybe grandma learned to use this. Maybe your parents actually took typing class. Probably more likely grandma or grandpa, okay, because I actually took typing class. It serves me very well on the keyboard today because a lot of you all are going like this, but oh, I know how to do QWERTY. Yeah. My kids in their 20s, they called it, what did they call it? Technology class? I forget what it was called now. Some of you called it different things, office technology, but you probably did not use typewriters. Next, though, all of a sudden, home computers and smartphones allow people to book online self-service. And this really became prominent in the late 1990s, and especially the early 2000s. So we had computers, yes, ding, 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 shh, boing, boing, dial-up internet, and then smartphones came along. And at the time smartphones came along, coincided with the rise of OTAs. Now, OTAs actually came out in the late 90s. Do you know that Expedia was originally founded by Microsoft until it was a spinoff? So now Expedia, Booking.com, in the vacation home rental space, which is a lot of our attendees today, Vrbo, and Airbnb, okay? So by the mid-2010s, ladies and gentlemen, executives said, voice is a dying distribution channel. Now, I know I've covered this in a lot of other webcasts, but a distribution channel is a means by which people sell their accommodations. Voice, online at website direct, through OTAs, and through groups, and if you're a resort, through wholesaler and tour companies. People thought nobody will ever call anymore. Now, one of the reasons people thought nobody will ever call anymore was because that the rise of websites and then next apps. So the truth is, yes, for routine trips, people will book online on a website or an app. So if I'm traveling and let's say I'm taking an international flight, or let's say I'm doing work for a client, but I have a 5 a.m. return. That just happened to me. I trained in Sun River, Oregon. My flight left at 5 a.m. It was an hour drive. Situations like that, I book me a hotel at the airport, and at that time, I go on my app, and I go depending on where I need points. You know, I might go to the Choice Hotels or Bonvoy Marriott or Hilton or Accor or Intercon. I don't want to leave anyone out. IHG hotels, and I will book. Now, then if maybe the app freezes up, maybe I'm going to call. Those order taking calls, ladies and gentlemen, ChatGPT, interactive voice response, and IVR will take over those easy calls, okay? So Why do people still call? Why do you have a job in reservation sales? And why do I have a job training you in reservation sales? Okay. Hotels of all types, and certainly resorts, even more so, and definitely vacation home rental companies. You get a lot of calls. People will still call a hotel as well. Sometimes they're driving and they just click to call. Sometimes they call your hotel. And I thank you for joining us, Courtyards. We have a lot of Hilton Gardens that come on these. We have Comfort Inn Chincoteague. I know you're there. Thank you. People will call and they still ask for that in-house on-site voice. Why do people call? The more important the trip. So an important business trip or a important leisure trip. The larger the accommodation, if you're booking a suite, if you're booking a home with a lot of bedrooms, the more people staying in that party, and most of all, the more emotionally engaged, the more emotionally connected you are to your travel plans, the more likely you are to reach out by phone. Okay. So if you're bringing your baby to the beach for the first time this summer, or you're bringing your teenagers for a trip to hike in the mountains, or a mother-daughter trip to the spa, or it's your first time traveling out of your country, whatever country you live in, or you're bringing your mother-in-law and she's a little needy, okay? Not to stereotype, because my mother-in-law is awesome, but the more complicated the trip is, the more likely they are to call. All right. And that is why you get those calls where they say, hello, where are you? And we'll come back to that in a moment. Now, do not believe marketing people, GMs, corporate executives joining us today. Do not believe the myth that calls are related to birth year, okay? Because I love to bust these myths. And today I actually have evidence outside of my intuition and anecdotal evidence. Do not believe this, the myth that baby boomers are actually called because they can't work computers, okay? Because the fact is, boomers are actually quite skilled because you know what? We had to use this computer. Okay, where are you, my boomers, right? When I got this computer in 1989, your software came in a box and every device, I don't know if we even had mouses yet, maybe a year later, you had to install them. C:\arrow, install. You had to bring out the box, insert the disk, and you had to follow the instructions, yeah? It was not easy. We actually are the ones who grew up with tech, okay? And even Granny has an iPad. I always think of my late Aunt Tita. She actually had an iPad, and let me tell you, that lady loved to travel, and she could work that iPad really well, and she knew how to book online, but she would still call. So people of all ages call. If you're 25 and you're going away with your pal or your significant other, you might just book online, but when you get a little older and you have a baby and a toddler and you're bringing your father and he's got mobility issues, or it's your honeymoon, okay? And she calls up, she wants to bring her wife. They want to have that perfect honeymoon. Yeah, they're going to make a call, right? Now, McKinsey and Company. McKinsey is the premier research, consumer research company. Google search this if you don't believe old Dougie here. McKinsey, where is customer care in 2024? Where is customer care in 2024? McKinsey. And I'm going to actually read this to you. In recent McKinsey survey of 3,500 consumers, respondents of all ages said that live conversations were among the most preferred method of contacting companies for help and support. My son, who's 24, last night, his app from TD Bank said there was a charge for $20. He did not make that charge, okay? It was the first time his card was ever hacked. So I'm the go-to. As a father, I'm the go-to. You have a roach in your apartment, call dad. You got a letter from your landlord, you call dad. If you get a fraudulent card, call dad. I'm proud of that, actually. And so I said, son, you can probably just go, and cancel it online or something. He wanted it today, and he called and he got someone. And also said it's probably better if you call, because if you cancel the card online, it's going to take a long time. But if you call, they'll expedite it to you. That's what he did, and he just texted me before this webcast. So people of all ages are realizing it's good to call. There's also evidence that young consumers are getting tired of digital service paradigm. Young people, you know, remember the good old days 5 years ago when you turned 18? You could say representative and you would get a live person. Now it says invalid entry, invalid entry. One financial services company, probably a bank, reports that Gen Z, age 26 or younger, they are 30 to 40% more likely to call than millennials born 1980 or later. They use the phone as often as baby boomers. My kids are both Gen Z, and I believe that is true. Ladies and gentlemen, I looked at the list of registrants. A lot of you are luxury, upscale, or upper mid-scale brands even. Premium segment customers of all ages prefer the phone, with many people saying live phone support is the best part of premium service, okay? So let's take a deeper dive. Why do people call? Let's look a little bit closer. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, they are confused. They read conflicting information like online guest reviews. Now, I know those of you who join me every single time, thank you, Laura Ruby at Rosewood. I think you've signed up for every single webcast that we've done now, about a year and a half worth of these. And so many others, by the way. I don't want to just single out. We talk about this a lot. Why do people call? People are confused. Doesn't she look confused? I picked that picture. Because of this, people make a call. They click to call, okay? And they do not any longer say, hi, I'm thinking about staying there. Can you tell me the prices? That's what they said in the 90s. Today, their lead is in disguise, okay? Today, they say, hi, I just have a quick question about, okay? Or, hi, I'm shopping online. I just wanted to double check the rates, okay? And they want to make sure. I was just wondering how many parking spaces? Okay, thank you. I have nothing better to do my time than to call up a bunch of places and ask how many vehicles I can park. Hi, I just have a question. I was wondering, I see there's a microwave, but is there a mini fridge? Okay, thank you. I'm never gonna stay there. I just wanted to know. So this is why we want to then turn these quick questions into confirmations. Now, you may want to take a screenshot of this photo, or because I will go kind of quick here. I'm going to step out of the frame and encourage you to take a screenshot. So answer the question. Actually, we do have a microwave and a mini fridge. And actually, each guest gets to park one vehicle at our resort. Did you have extras? Because we can help you. Or this particular home has a driveway that will accommodate 4 vehicles. Oh, we have an oversized vehicle. Oh, yes, you can park your oversized vehicle. Now that I've answered your question about the microwave or the parking, have you made a reservation yet? Are there any dates I can check? Oh, that's okay. I'm going to book it online. What website are you on? Okay, because as you know from Doug Kennedy's webcast, we want to get that reservation directly. Yeah? Do you remember why? First of all, we avoid OTA commissions. So if you're a hotel and you sell a $100 room rate, probably your rates are a lot higher than that right now. That $100 room rate, you only get $85. Okay. Now, if you're a vacation rental company, you guys are lucky because you just add the OTA commission to the fee, all right, to the rate. So you have a $100 rate. Let's call it $1,000 rate at the home rental. And at your website on Expedia, it's $1,000. It's $1,150. So you don't have that. But we want to tell the guests, oh, I'm sorry, let me go back here. Not only is it a commission that we have to pay, but when we have the guest book directly with us, our company, our hotel, our resort, we own that relationship. and they know who we are. And then next year, they're going to come back to us instead of going back to the OTAs. I was just at SPI Rentals in South Padre Island. Hello, Padre Getaways. Hello, all my friends that are, there's another company here that I met at that event that I saw signed up today. But Will Greenwood told me that once the guest who books through the OTA, 60, I think it was 70% of the time, they actually book direct next time. That is called channel conversion, ladies and gentlemen. That's what we want to do. But even better, get them to book with you the first time. If you have a chance and they call and you say, by the way, can I check dates? No, I'm going to book it online. What website are you on? Oh, well, let me help you because you may have lower rates if you're a vacation rental company like we talked about. If you're an hotel, the rate probably is in parity, rate parity, meaning it's the same. However, you may have more flexible cancellation terms for people who book direct. You may have more flexible deposit terms. The OTA might require full prepayment or 50% deposit. You might only take the credit card to hold it. Even if all that is the same, we can help you directly right here on site. During COVID, a lot of people realized when they called to cancel on March the 13th through the 30th, we didn't have their money. The OTA had their money. Good luck with that. And then most of all, we can help you finish it now. Mr. Kennedy, I'm right here on site. I can lock that in for you now while I have you on the phone, okay? So I want to remind you of this. If you work in-house, on site, at your hotel, at your resort, at your company, I want you to always remind them in emails, in-app messages, wave the flag. We are in-house, on-site reservations. Can you do that for me? Are you sitting there with your peers? Wave your flag, okay? Because you know it's important because people call you up all the time and say, hello, where are you? And you're like, actually, that's a creepy question, sir. I don't know if I want to answer, where are you exactly? All right, I'm joking. But what they really want to know is, are you there in that city? Sometimes they even check you. What's the weather like? Because they got their weather app open. Yeah, oh, it's lovely today. No, it's not, it's raining. You're not really there, okay? So if you are in-house on site, yes, let them know, volunteer that. If you answer a question in an in-app message exchange, by the way, my name is Doug with In-House Reservations. We'd be happy to help you. They're like, oh, okay, this person, she knows what she's talking about. Now, if you work either remotely, directly for your company, or you work at a call center and you are not on site and you actually sell for a lot of hotels, you want to say, actually, where are you? Where are you, Doug? Actually, I'm in a different building today, but I do sell directly for this hotel or this company. Because you do. You might also sell for 20 other hotels, but you sell directly for this one. And when you put it in their reservation system through the CRS interface, it's going straight in. Okay. So that's how we want to come across as being a reservation specialist. Okay. Now, second reason people call, this is a biggie, they are overwhelmed. They are experiencing something called choice overload, and that is made worse by FOMO, fear of missing out. What happens today, no matter what we go to buy, there are so many choices, we become overwhelmed. And I often talked about this in other webcasts. I know there is a lot of overlap and some these themes reiterate again and again, but I'm going to use today the example of toothpaste, all right? So when I was a kid, when you went to the store, you had two choices, Colgate or Crest. If mom sent me to the store at our family, I knew we always went with Crest, okay? And you would go to the store and you would buy the toothpaste and that was it, okay? But today, a few years later, they had AIM and Close Up. That was a little bit later in my childhood, okay? And then all of a sudden, today, you go to the CVS, the Walgreens, the Rexall drugstore, and whatever it's called in your country, far away, you probably have the same thing. There are more choices in toothpaste than ever before. And you stand there in front of the Great Wall going, do I need fresh breath? No, I'm good there. Do I need teeth whitening? camera, selfie mode, phone camera. No, I'm good there. What about cavities? Let me call my dentist. And you have choice overload, okay? And then even if you're brand loyal, look at all the different kinds of Crest that they make today. It is overwhelming, folks, just to buy toothpaste. Now, let's go back to our topic of an important trip where you're bringing your baby for the first time, or your teenager before he leaves for college, or it's your honeymoon and you want you and your husband to have a fantastic time, yeah? And now it's really, really important. And you go online and you Google search resort Punta Cana, resort Cabo San Lucas, business trip hotel Toronto. Yeah, who did I leave out? I left a lot of people out. And up comes a long list. Number one in the search is Expedia, Booking.com, and Airbnb, and probably right behind it, Vrbo. You go to any of those sites, you see an even longer list, okay? And then let's say they make it to your website. How many room categories do you have? Some of you might even be a 60-room boutique hotel, and you got like 10 different room categories. If you're a vacation home rental company, you really are dealing with choice overload. But now some of you might be from select service hotels and there's only one room type. But before they got to you, they went to all these other lists, okay? So I'm going to have you share with you questions to train your team to ask more and better questions. If you're a frontline reservation salesperson on the call today, be prepared, because once this screen is full, take a screenshot. Have you stayed with us before? Did anything online catch your eye? So now that I've answered your quick question, can I just ask, have you made a reservation yet? Oh no, that's okay, I'm gonna book online. What website are you at? Because I'm right here, in-house. Oh, okay, let me have you check a price. As I'm checking those rates, have you stayed with us before? Did anything online catch your eye? By the way, what brings you to town? Is there anything special I can help you plan? Actually, there is, yeah, because I'm going to propose to my girlfriend. You know, it used to be years ago, like I was married twice, okay? Both times, like it was me and the girl, okay? I'm still married to Kathy. I love you, dear. It'll be 18 years in May. For Kathy, I took her to a special place in Florida. I had a bag. I don't think she figured it out yet. I said, we're going on a picnic, but in the bag was the ring, and it was kind of personal. Like it was just you and the person. Now you got to have a big entourage. You got to have, because it's got to be Instagrammable, right? Yeah, you all know, at least your friends, right? So they want help. Yeah, you can help me, because it's going to be a big production. Baby reveal for one kid, we found out. For one kid, we didn't. The gender. And we just like called people and said, we're having a boy this time. Now you got to have the gender reveal, right? With a balloon that you shoot, or a smoke bomb. Okay, I'm not disrespecting this. It's just a reality. I think it's actually quite wonderful. We can share those experiences. People need help planning that. As I'm checking those dates, do you have any general questions? Actually, I do. Yeah. What's the beaches like there? Part of you want to say, there's like water and sand, dude, but the beaches are very different. When I went to Padre Island, Texas, it was like the Caribbean waters of Fort Lauderdale. Not like that in other parts of the Gulf. Which is most important to you, the location, the view, or the attributes? Do you really need the pool table and the hot tub? Okay, because we have that in your price range, but it's away from the view. Or if you really want to be close to the view or the ski chalet, the ski lift, sorry, then, we don't have those attributes. For business travelers, you're going to have any free time while you're here? Used to be you go out on business, you come back, but today people actually stay over. Is everyone in the party a golfer, a skier, a beach person? Okay, tell me more about your trip. What is it about this one that you don't love? This is really good. When you describe that lovely accommodation, they say, what else do you have? Nizuc Resort Cancun will be talking about this, because you have amazing accommodations there and a lot of different options, and you get them all interested and they say, what else do you have? What else do you have? What is it about this one you don't love? Okay. So what are the biggest factors? All right, so take a screen capture of that if you want. All right, moving on. These questions help you unmask the story behind the caller's plans. We talk about this a lot, making that human connection. And when you unmask that story, you outsell Chat GPT. Okay, this is what I imagine them looking like. I'm pretty sure it don't look like that. Okay, it's on a server somewhere. But we have heartfelt conversations. And if you join me in June, we're going to talk about Kamamuta. Kamamuta is more commonly known as that warm, fuzzy feeling. How many of you end the conversation, hang up, you're thinking to yourself, oh, you turn to your coworker, I just talked to the nicest person. 500 kilometers away, 1,000 miles away, somebody is disconnecting that call and they're going, oh, honey, I just talked to the nicest person. We got to bring him something. That's what we do. You don't get that from ChatGPT, folks. So armed with insights into their travel story, we can now help them decide. I like this lady, she's talking with her hands. How many of you sit in a reservations job and you're like, oh, it's a really big accommodation. It has a lovely view. Like you talk with your hands, even though they can't see you. I've been accused of doing that a lot. You can help them decide. Guess what? We are the right company. This is the best option for you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, is the best time. Let's do this, okay? So if you use these techniques, you will help them overcome choice overload and fear of missing out. These techniques here, needs-based recommendations. Recommend, suggest, or endorse. And if you use these, you want to base it on their needs, which is why, what did we first cover today? Ask questions. Tell me about what you're looking for. Anything special I can help you plan? Do you have any questions on the activities? And then you can say, based on what you told me, I would definitely recommend this location, this room category, or I would definitely recommend our hotel. Suggest, based on what you told me, if you're here to propose your partner, I would definitely suggest this accommodation because after the big event, you can have everyone back. This option has a living area, a separate from the sleeping area. You can you and the 20 people you brought to watch you propose can go and you can celebrate together. Endorsement, based on what you told me, excellent choice. We're having our company-wide party here at Kennedy Training Network. We flew all of our key players in. Kathy is having them all at our house tonight. Last night, one of our early arrivals, we went out to dinner. Everybody that ordered, the server was like, oh, excellent choice. Oh, that's my personal favorite. Oh, that's our most popular dish. When they say that, you're like, yeah, actually, this is really good. Yeah, that's what we want to do. That helps them overcome FOMO, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I want you to think about how important this is because you are in-house, on-site, or you book directly for this hotel from a different building or location. You play an important role. Chat GPT, Gemini, whatever, IDR cannot do what we can do. We can help them as a trusted salesperson, just like your hairstylist, okay? My hairstylist, like, I'm sorry, I'm not really that loyal because it's like not really that big of a deal, yeah? But now, again, I don't want to gender stereotype. Young men these days, I wish I had your hair. A lot of you have beautiful dreads, or maybe you're really locked into your barber, yeah. But ladies in particular, at least my wife, Kathy, when she moved here to Florida, she found someone that cuts her hair. They're like 30 minutes away from the office. And then later she found someone to help. Oh, I don't want to give it away. She does get a perm, like a little lift to the hair. Well, that person's like 30 minutes away the other direction. And then, she's got like someone else that cuts it. She's so loyal because they trust her, right? They say, oh, you look fabulous. Yeah. Purchasing a new dress or a suit. Okay, my person that helps me, I bring Kathy along. Okay, don't you like this suit? Yeah, and the shirt too. It used to be like we used to be able to wear ties to give us a little color as a male, but now like ties are out, so we have to wear printed shirts. Yeah, but also eyeglasses. I just bought eyeglasses Kathy came with me. She's like, I don't really know. So I asked the guy, I'm like, you actually look really well dressed. Which looks better on me? Because I had choice overload and I had FOMO. I want to look good out there. I'm wearing contacts today, right? Or selecting a new refrigerator, oven, or appliance. You know, you go to Home Depot, you go to Lowe's, you go to Best Buy in the United States, and the people that really know, it's overwhelming. They help you. Round in the corner, ladies and gentlemen, reason number 3, value-driven deal seekers. These folks here, they call you up and they want a discount or promotion, or they want to try to negotiate with you. Why do people still call? Is that the best you can do? They will call and say, hi, I just wanted to double check the rate. Now, some of them are nice about it. They're like, hi, oh, hello, Douglas. Oh, that's actually my brother's name. Listen, buddy, is there any way, you know, because I have no money and it's really tight. Then they show up in like the luxury automobile wearing the expensive gold. Some people are rude. Like, I have traveled all around the world. I have never paid a resort fee. Okay. So, and then you quote the rate and they're like, okay, thank you. Before you let them go, ask a question. How does that compare to what you're finding? How does that rate sound? Is that within your travel budget? Screen capture time, screenshot time. Can I check other dates? Are your plans flexible? Because if you come a little bit earlier, if you extend your trip a little bit later, keep in mind that's about that $1,000 a night for the vacation rental home. For a 3-bedroom, accommodates 2 families, that's $500 a family. Oh yeah, not so bad. Your girls trip. So this room accommodates 4 people. And so it is $600 here in South Beach, Miami. It's about $150 per person. Oh yeah, not so bad, huh? You want a screenshot of this before I move on? All right. Now, if you're a manager for the value-driven deal seeker, maybe your manager has entrusted you to negotiate. And if so, when you quote that $1,000 a night rate and they say, oh, wow, thanks anyway, don't just say, okay, how about 900? How about 850? This is not like a travel auction, okay? So always check further and create urgency. What does Doug Kennedy mean? It means we have to check further. Some of y'all already do this. Oh, one moment, let me check further. Ding, put them on hold. Sing the Jeopardy, Double Jeopardy theme song. Do, 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 do. Or if you don't know why that is, my international folks, sing Happy Birthday. It's, remember the amount of time it takes to wash your hands. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Oh, and checking further, Mr. Kennedy, if we lock this in for you now, here's what I can offer for you. Yeah. Don't just say, okay, 850. If we can lock this in now, I work this out for you. Now, maybe your manager does not let you negotiate at all, and your rates are set. Your revenue manager tells you this is the price. So you can still check further. Check further. And checking further, because these dates or because of this situation, our regular rate applies, but I'm happy to lock it in while it's still open. Check, always check further. Your boss comes by. What are you doing? You're sitting there doing nothing. You have a caller on hold. Oh, I'm checking with you. I'm checking with you, boss. And you're saying yes. Or checking with you, boss. And you're saying no. Okay. And checking further. All right. Now, couple more tips before we move on. These are from other KTN webcasts. We had a whole webcast on this one. Offer to secure it now. Okay. But I want to talk about rates. Remember, we do not raise rates when it's busy and peak season. I'm covering this because it's coming into summer and a lot of people right now are saying, oh my gosh, July is already here. We better call. And they're calling in, the rates are higher. And they say, oh my gosh, why are the rates so high? Oh, it's summer. And when we get busy, we raise rates. Or Hazleton, Toronto, Courtyard Marriott, Boise, Idaho, City Hotels. Oh, and on weeknights, there's more demand, so the rates are higher on the weeknights. No, what we do is flip that. The high season rates are the normal rates. We lower them when it's slow. Remember that? My webcast regulars. Hello, Nick at the Biltmore, Miami. So actually, The summer rates is our normal rates. We lower the rates in the off season. The main price is not the low season rate that we raise. The main price is the high season rate that we lower. Doesn't that sound better? Yeah, you like that one, don't you? I hope. After we help them decide, always, 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 always offer to secure it now. Don't be pushy. It's not pushy. You won't be pushy. You're not being rude. They called you. The phone on your website where the phone number is, it says for reservations, call this number. It does not say to harass us and to waste our time, call this number. Yeah, they know what they're getting into. And by the way, guess what? They also know the price because Granny has an iPad. Okay, she already checked, right? Always offer to secure the rate. May I secure it for you? Which of those may I secure for you? So quote that rate, ask for that sale. Okay, it's not our job just to give them price. It's our job to help them decide we're the right place. And as far as securing the sale, now is the right time. Okay, and they say, no, I got to check. Whoever's on the line going to be checking with somebody. Husband's checking with his wife. Wife is checking with their husband. They're checking with their sister who's traveling with them. They got to check the kids' summer camp schedule. Create urgency. Availability is limited. That rate could change. We have a limited number of that accommodation, and it does sound perfect for you. And then, if possible, depending on your revenue and pricing strategy, you can always call back to cancel up until 30 days or 7 days or 3 days out. And maybe, just maybe, I can place that on courtesy hold. Or like a lot of my clients, I just turned a lovely resort in 30A, Florida, Rosemary Beach area, Atlas Beach. If you're with us, welcome. Like a lot of resorts, they charge 50% advance deposit. You cannot cancel once you paid it. However, within the first 24 hours, you can cancel for a full refund. So a lot of you, if you're not doing what I just said, think about that. If you don't place it on hold, then take the deposit and allow them to cancel in the first 24 hours, okay? Right here, take a screenshot if you want. Moving on. Now, finishing up here, ladies and gentlemen, for high revenue bookings, especially, which are the top tier accommodations, suites, views, premium locations, premium views, or those booking more than one accommodation, especially for them, those high rate bookings, especially for them, proactive follow-up. That means to send them an email at minimum, okay? So may I secure that for you, Mr. Kennedy? No, I think I better check with my wife. That's fine, but availability is limited. We can lock it in now. No, I still got to check with my wife. Let me just grab your email address so I can send you my direct contact information here in-house on-site reservations, if you are, or can send you our contact information so you can reach us directly. Okay. Now, if you're doing this, remember, let me not, do you want an email? I don't want an email. If you say, sir, would you like me to send you an email, Doug? No. Doug, let me just grab your email. I'll give you my contact information. That is a really important point, ladies and gentlemen. Then maybe you have Track hospitality software features TrackPulse, a specialized CRM that allows you to turn that call into a lead, make a lead form, send a follow-up note, okay? If you perhaps have we are agnostic when it comes to technology. Our clients also have Revinate and SendSquare, okay? So I want to mention that these are specific reservations CRMs. Now, if you don't have that, get in the game with Google Sheets, Excel, just like my dear friend Maberlin at Majestic Resorts, who I'm so proud of. Get in the game with these options, make a lead form, make sure when somebody calls, we're sending a follow-up, okay? Because it is not our job to help them find what's available. It is our job to help them decide. Now is the best time. We are the right place. Let's do this. Well, thank you for joining us on a busy time of year, I'm sure, for resorts, a busy day of week for many of you. As we round the corner and finish up, I do want to thank our sponsors once again, Track, Travel Outlook, Better Talent. Without you, we could not do this. I want to remind you that each webcast you do need to sign up for separately. It does not carry over. If you do register, you will get the audio, I'm sorry, the video recording. And then, so our next one is about Kamamuta, that warm fuzzy feeling. After that, we're going to talk about a program I just did at a conference last month. Every guest contact opportunity is a marketing opportunity. So if you're from operations, sales, I don't care who you are, everybody will be welcome and relevant for that. Our previous webcast, thanks to Julia Kennedy, our marketing coordinator, we have them all on YouTube. So you can go back. They're all, I shoot for 40 minutes. Sometimes I go 45 as today, but they're all on here and you can see, oh, sometimes I go to 49 minutes, but most of them are around 40 minutes and we actually have them all archived for you so you can go back and refer to them. I hope you reach out, especially all those new people that I shouted out at the beginning of this program. I would love to come out and train your staff on site, or if you're a long way away and you're concerned about airfare, private live webcam training with our team. They're all out to lunch right now, getting ready to celebrate. We have fantastic webcam trainers. We also do conference, I do conference speaking, mystery shopping. If you record calls through Track, SendSquared, Revinate, Ring Central, we actually score recorded calls and even email exchanges, okay? And then private live individual webcam coaching, all at prices that are probably lower than you would think. So my contact information, thank you again for joining us. It has been so much fun doing these webcasts now, and I do hope you continue to stay with us. Please help us spread the word to your colleagues. And thank you again, everyone, for joining me today. Have a great weekend.